Friends, good morning and now good afternoon rather, and welcome to this curtain raiser press conference of Go Global Bio India conference to be held shortly. As all of you are aware about India's growing bioeconomy and growth trajectory supported through policies and continued support commitment, to brief you more on the forthcoming conference, we have with us Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, and Minister of State of Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions, PMO, Department of Space, Department of Atomic Energy, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. My warm welcome to you, sir. I also welcome Secretary, Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale ji, Managing Director, BIRAC, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, and Scientist G, DBT, Dr. Namika Gambhir. Now over to Ms. Taranjit Kaur for further proceedings.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the Department of Biotechnology and the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, BIRAC, मैं तरनजीत कौर ग्लोबल बायो इंडिया के 4th एडिशन के कर्टेन रेजर के लिए यहाँ उपस्थित सभी अतिथिगणों को अभिनंदन करती हूँ। अब मैं सेक्रेटरी डीबीटी डॉक्टर राजेश एस गोखले से अनुरोध करूंगी कि वे हमारे मुख्य अतिथि माननीय मंत्री डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी को पौधा देकर सम्मानित करें। So your presence is truly an inspiration to all of us. Thank you, sir. May I now invite Managing Director BIRAC, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, to felicitate Secretary DBT, Dr. Rajesh S. Gokhale. Shri Dhirendra Ojha ji, Principal Director General, Press Information Bureau, and Dr. Anamika Gambhir, Scientist G, DBT. Thank you, sir. अब मैं सुश्री मिस शिल्पी कोचर से डॉक्टर जितेंद्र कुमार, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर बायरेक को पौधा देकर सम्मानित करने का अनुरोध करती हूँ। Thank you, Ms. Shilpi. So before we proceed with the agenda, we would like to present a short video showcasing the achievements of previous edition of Global Bio India and offering a glimpse of what's in store for Global Bio India 2024. Volume, please. Sound, please.
Largest player for biotech in Asia Pacific, India's bioeconomy has advanced to new heights. The Indian bioeconomy crossed the $150 billion mark in 2023, a remarkable multifold increase in a decade. Projected to reach $300 billion by 2030, India is set to become a dominant biotech innovation powerhouse. The number of biotech startups in India has grown phenomenally, from close to 500 startups in 2014 to over 8,000 startups in 2023.
Leading this transformative journey is BIRAC, the Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council.
Not-for-profit organization under the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India is dedicated to empowering, enabling, and accelerating India's innovation ecosystem through a comprehensive pipeline of programs, schemes, and policy initiatives. Over the last 12 years, BIRAC has acted as a catalyst and will continue to contribute towards development of globally competitive, affordable products to address the unmet needs of society at large. BIRAC organizes Global Bio India, an annual mega international congregation of biotechnology stakeholders.
जिस तरह से नए आयाम बायोटेक्नोलॉजी सेक्टर में हिंदुस्तान तय कर रहा है उसका एक प्रतीक है और प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जब से बहुत सारे इस तरह से रिफॉर्म्स लाए हैं जिससे लिबरलाइज हुआ है हमारा साइंस सेक्टर.
What we want to build now is a biovision for Bharat actually. That will catalyze our Amritkal journey.
It feels good to see India innovating at such a huge scale.
It's a massive event, massive scale.
I'm very impressed by the variety.
Over the years, Global Bio India has established itself as a leading platform for bio-innovation. Previous edition had participation from 5,600 plus delegates, 25 plus countries, 1,200 plus startups, 100 plus incubators, 200 plus academic institutions, 500 plus exhibitors. The event witnessed 1,000 plus bio partnering meetings, 40 plus sessions, and 30 plus product launches. Global Bio India 2024 promises to be a groundbreaking event, bringing together visionaries from academia, industry leaders, and government bodies. This year, the spotlight will be on the dynamic fields of biopharma, bioagri, bioindustrial, bioenergy, bioservices, and medtech. Expect a whirlwind of innovations to be unveiled and pressing challenges to be addressed, all aimed at shaping a bold new future for bio-innovation and the bioeconomy. Dive into a world of limitless possibilities at Global Bio India 2024, where connections and collaborations flourish. Engage in high-stakes meetings, participate in critical policy dialogues, and experience invigorating boot camps. Investor roundtables will offer cutting-edge insights into the market, while dedicated platforms will foster lasting partnerships, spread crucial awareness, and accelerate the pace of innovation. Join us at Global Bio India 2024 from September 12th to 14th at Hall number 5, Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. Be a part of the bio revolution. Connect, collaborate, and innovate to co-create a healthier and more sustainable future.
Thank you. I now invite Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Managing Director, BIRAC, to deliver his welcome address.
Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Earth Sciences, Minister of State, PMO, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space, Government of India, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, respected Director General BRIC and Secretary DBT, Government of India, and Chairman of BIRAC, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, respected Principal DG Shri Dhirendra Ojha ji, Scientist G DBT, Government of India, Dr. Anamika Gambhir ji, representatives and dignitaries from industry, media, my colleagues from BIRAC and DBT, startups, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this curtain raiser for Global Bio India 2024. In recent years, India has emerged, as we all know, a biotech hub, and the attention of many countries globally is on India. The reason being, for last 10 years, I think we have moved very, very rapidly and very fast into this area of innovation. This innovation is one of the most important aspects for pushing the economic engine of any country. For instance, if we see the data from 2014 to 24, which is for last 10 years, we had some 700 biotech companies in 2014. Now we have 8,500 startup companies in biotech. And more deep science tech is coming into this biotech startup game, which was not earlier actually. So deep tech science, many of these startups are spinning out from academic institutions where most of the public money is going. Incubation centers were only 6 in 2014. Now it is 100, more than 100. It's going to be 120 in this financial year. Incubation space, where these startups find the plug and play laboratories for doing their research and innovation, it was only 60,000 square feet in 2014. Now it is more than 9 lakh square feet. So it's a multiplier 15 times more. The number of products were only 10 related to biotech in 2014. Now it is more than 800 plus products. And I think this is a conservative number because we don't sometimes get all the details from the startups and incubation centers. It's a vast network that BIRAC has created, unparalleled in any of the government initiatives, where all the academic institutions, many academic institutions, research institutions, science parks, industry parks, they have taken our guidance support in creating incubation centers where startups can come and set up their plug and play laboratories are available where they can set up. This is a very, very unique development in our country, because most of the incubation centers, if you see across the globe, it is in academic institutions, and they are the universe of innovation and academic. It has its own advantages. We have missed that bus, but we have filled that gap. BIRAC has actually filled that gap by setting up incubation centers in academic institutions and research institutions, DBT institutions, CSIR institutions, industry parks, etc. So it's a very, very important enabler, that central enabler that BIRAC has been for last 10 years. Job created, it was only 500 in 2014. Now it is 35,000. Again, conservative number. I think it should be more than that, but these numbers that we got from our stakeholders. IP filed, this is one of the most indicative of it for any country to showcase its innovative potential. It was only 125 in 2014. I'm talking about the biotech sector. Now it is 1,300 plus IPs. Bioeconomy has grown from 28 billion in 2014 to now more than 150 billion US dollars, which is 5 times more than what we had. And it's actually showing a very exponential rise. If you see the curve, it's an exponential rise. I think ABLE has come up with a report, and we will unveil this in the Global Bio India 2024. And I'll leave it to him to say some more things about the bioeconomy. I will not take much time because I have Shilpi, my colleague, who will delve deep into what we have in store for you all in Global Bio India 2024. This time there's a lot of global participation, lot of global attention. I have been visiting or participating in Bio US, which is one of the parallel kind of event that happens. It's the biggest biotech event globally. Sometimes I feel why US only, and why we cannot take that lead, because we are the largest market. We are the innovation wise, we are leading very swiftly, and economy wise also we are one of the best economies, now third largest, going to be third largest economy. So if we showcase our innovative potential in these events, I think it will be really good to attract the investments from outside, from the global. This is one of the bottlenecks in our innovation ecosystem. We do not have that kind of early stage venture fund or venture fund in general. And I think showcasing this kind of innovation that we have in our country through these events, we can attract a lot of global capital here. We can attract, enable a lot of partnerships and all. So thank you so much, and I look forward to your participation in Global Bio India.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome. I now invite Ms. Shilpi Kochar, Head Business Development and Communication at BIREC, to uncover the main highlights of Global Bio India 2024.
Thank you, Tarun. Honorable Minister, sir, Secretary DBT, dignitaries on and off the dais, colleagues from BIRAC and DBT, embassies, representatives, investors, incubators, startups, GVI partners, friends from media, one and all who's present here today, in person and online, Namaskar. It is an absolute honor to present the highlights of Global Bio India to this esteemed gathering. Being cognizant of the time, I shall try to be brief and give you a quick update of what the event holds for all of us. As the name suggests, Global Bio India is a mega international event organized by the Department of Biotechnology and its public sector unit, Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, for the national and international biotech community. In my opinion, this is not just an event, it's a strategic initiative by the department to position India's biotech sector on the global map. Despite the fact that it's just the 4th edition, the amount of recognition and the kind of encouraging response we have got from all the stakeholders is kind of phenomenal. And we are grateful to all of you for that. As we can see, this event aligns well with the national missions of Make in India and Startup India. We have already had a chance to see the glimpses of the 3rd edition, which was successfully concluded in December 23. Next, please. So I could probably skip these slides in the interest of time. We will have some glimpses. It was during the Global Bio India 23 that we announced that this event would now be an annual edition. And as promised, we are here. We announced that this event would now be held annually in the 2nd or 3rd week of September. And so is the event as promised. So as we saw during the video, some of the highlights of the Global Bio India 2023, we had more than 500 exhibitors, more than 5,000 delegates, 25 plus countries, 8 states, 200 plus universities, 1,200 plus biotech startups, 300 industry representation, 1,000 plus B2B meetings, 40 plus sessions, out of which 7 were super sessions, 40 plus pitches, and launch of 30 new startup products. Let's quickly delve into some of the facts that indicate towards the readiness of Indian biotech ecosystem for a global showcase. With close to 60% share in global vaccine production, 3% share in the global biotech industry, India has already created its mark and positioned itself as the much sought after destination in both in terms of R&D as well as manufacturing. We're also proud to be quite strong in terms of the infrastructure capacities that we have created through 100 plus biotech incubators, offering specialized facilities and resources to startups and companies. India is one of the top 10 countries worldwide to have more than 3 of the world top 100 science and technology clusters. There are several other accolades in the areas such as transgenics, cell and gene therapy, biofuels, and so on, that position India strategically to be a biotech destination for the globe. We'll hear about the exponential growth in bioeconomy and biotech startups from our partner, Mr. Krishnan. Aligning with all of these trends, Global Bio India 2024 it's being designed with the theme Innovation Ecosystem in Biomanufacturing. The event would showcase the best and the futuristic technologies facilitated by the government and deliberate around the latest and emerging topics in the area of biopharma, bioagri, bioindustrial, energy, services, and medtech. Heart of this event happens to be the Mega Expo, comprising exhibits by startups, industry, incubators, academia, states, government departments, ministries, and so on, each one showcasing its strengths and offerings to the biotech ecosystem. With more elements such as technical sessions, policy roundtables, pitching sessions, biopartnering, the event holds a rich repository of offerings for all the stakeholders. We now move on to who should attend this event, which includes anybody and everybody who's part of the biotech stakeholder community, whether it's startup, small and medium enterprises, innovators, investors, states promoting investments in the biotech sector, international and domestic public officials, policy and regulatory bodies, patent and technology transfer offices, scientists, scholars, industry associations, incubators, and enablers. The length and breadth of the event, the scale which we have seen for the Global Bio India 23, and what we are planning for this year is not possible to be done alone. So we acknowledge the support of the partners, the ecosystem enablers like Invest India, Startup India, and the contribution from the experienced partners, including industry and incubator associations like ABLE, FICCI, ISBA, session partners, 95 incubators across the country. This is truly the backbone of our innovation ecosystem. I'm pleased to acknowledge the role of Bionest incubators towards organizing countrywide roadshows and sensitization workshops for GBI. Many of these events also have thematic panel discussions on important topics. As you can see, the 60+ roadshows have already been planned. Some of them have been done across 45 cities, 38 of which are in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, and they are helping us sensitize over 10,000 participants. While Global Bio India is just one event, we also have 60 or 70 such events happening across the country with 10,000 plus participants being sensitized. While some of them may not be able to join us for the main event, we are happy that they have already been touched by the movement. Moving on to the technical sessions, we are all set to discuss the national and international priority areas during the event with an enriched technical program curated by a strong internal team with the support from session partners. So as we can see, we have important topics like biomanufacturing, new generation therapeutics, food security, green initiatives for sustainable growth, role of shared infrastructure, technology licensing, climate resilience, non-animal models for drug development and biomedical research, smart proteins, the vaccine adjuvant program, clinical trial networks, and blue economy. Topped up with these technical sessions, we also have popular science sessions, Meet the Unicorn session, pitching session by startups, and the Guru Shishya mentoring programs. Happening alongside the expo, the pitching session, and all that we discussed so far would be the roundtables. We have close to 9 roundtables planned during the 2.5 days. CEO roundtables, regulatory roundtable, state roundtable, India-UK roundtable on biomanufacturing, India-UK South Africa roundtable on food security, roundtable on bioeconomy by National Academy of Science, Engineering and Medicine, investors roundtable, and a global panel with the representation from embassies, science councils, and international clusters. Lastly, to share with you a few confirmed international delegations for this mega event. We already have delegations who have confirmed from the NIH, USA, the Department of Science and Innovation, South Africa, National Academy of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine, US. We have industry and academia coming from the UK, and startups traveling from across the globe, and the BioLink Africa. With this, I invite you all to be a part of the much-awaited event, Global Bio India, from 12th to 14th of September at Pragati Maidan. We are highly optimistic and excited about this year's edition, and hope that it would surpass all previous benchmarks and set new expectations for the coming years. Continued guidance from our Honorable Minister, Sir, support from Secretary DBT and MD Byrak inspires us to deliver but the best. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ms. Shilpi, for sharing the special offerings that the event has for Indian and global biotech community. May I now request Mr. G.S. Krishnan, President ABLE, to talk about ABLE and Global Bio India. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, Secretary DBT Dr. Rajesh Kokle, MD Byrack Dr. Jitendra Kumar, other dignitaries in the dais, and very, very distinguished gathering. It's a great pleasure and honor to be here today on behalf of ABLE. Global Bio is something which has been a very successful event in the past, and for the past 2 years, ABLE has been closely associated, and we saw the big success, heard a lot from Dr. Shilpi about the program we have planned for this year. In fact, ABLE has closely been coordinating with the team from DBT and Byrack to ensure we get international speakers and also renowned speakers from our own India Biotech fraternity. And I should tell you all, there is a lot of interest this time again, and some of our links in Korea, Japan, and US are very keen to have delegations coming over here and discuss the opportunities between the various countries. This is again a significant progress, I would say, Global Bio has made. And as Dr. Jitendra Kumar was saying, why only US Bio? I'm sure that Global India Bio will become far more better. And with all your support and representation, we will definitely be able to showcase India in a better manner. And the ambition that India will drive the world when it comes to the bioeconomy and biotechnology, I'm sure it's not far away. In fact, this is one area where we feel the opportunities from a climate change perspective or challenges related to various bioenergy segment, alternative fuels, and food and other segments. We have a lot of role to play as a country, and we have seen this even, for example, in the alternative protein segment. India has been the chosen place for innovation and even for manufacture. And some of the initiatives which DBT has been taking, and again recently announced biomanufacturing initiatives and support, this is going to be very, very significant from the context of us playing a global role. And this will also support the startups which have been challenged with support for the scale-up facility. And this initiative is something we would like to closely associate with DBT Byrack from an implementation point of view and make it more successful. ABLE, as you all know, the Association of Biotech-Led Enterprises, was formed way back 2 decades before, and we are playing a leadership role in ensuring the biotech fraternity in India is motivated, and also ensuring that anything related to the various challenges related to regulatory and anything is being addressed as an industry body. And ABLE has been supporting DBT and Byrack even on making the bioeconomy report. And as you already, all of you saw, we have already crossed the $150 billion mark, which was supposed to be in 2025. And this is something which we should be very, very proud about, the way the biotech segment is progressing from a bioeconomy point of view. Again, the double-digit growth is almost 20% today, is far ahead of the other sectors from an Indian context. So we are in the right direction, and ABLE would like to very, very closely work with various biotech clusters. With this in mind, ABLE has ensured that we have representation and branch office or the offices in various regions of India. And we have recently opened in the NCR region, represented through IIT Kanpur in Noida, which again is very, very significant move to ensure that no cluster is left from a promotion point of view. So we are here to ensure that every opportunity is taken into consideration. We work very, very closely with DBT and Byrack. I have reserved my presentation for the overall bioeconomy growth for the launch after the ministers launching the bioeconomy report during the Global Bio. However, I can tell you all that it is basically the industrial biotech and the biopharma which has been driving the overall growth, which bioagriculture and bioservices gaining momentum in a very big way. And every initiative from the Government of India towards supporting the biotechnology will make a very big difference. And I would like to thank the Minister, and the government for really supporting biotech growth in a very big way. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you and make this global bio far more bigger. And India is one place for biotech more than the US bio. That's what we look forward to. Thank you very much and see you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnan. We are also joined by our esteemed partners for Global Bio India. May I once again request Ms. Shilpi Kochar to invite our partners to the dais and to speak about their organization and their roles in Global Bio India. Over to you.
थैंक यू तरुण। जैसा कि आप सबने सुना होगा कि एक और एक दो नहीं 11 हो जाते हैं, इसी तरह बायरैक डीबीटी पार्टनर्स के साथ मिलकर बहुत पावरफुल हो जाता है। उसी पावर को बताने के लिए मैं अनुरोध करूंगी सभी पार्टनर्स से संक्षिप्त में 2 मिनट से भी कम लेते हुए अपना रोल, अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में और जीबीआई में अपना रोल बताएं। आई विल इनवाइट मिस लीना फ्रॉम ग्लोबल बिजनेस इनरोड्स who's onboarded as an international facilitation partner for Global Bio India. Next, I request Ms. Nivedita Mehra to kindly join.
Thank you, Shilpi. Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh, Secretary Gokhale and MD Byrak. We are very, very honored to be partners of Global Bio 2024 for the second edition. We were very happy to be partners as well for the previous edition, really to facilitate global partnerships for and enable the growth of the Indian bioeconomy in partnership with Byrak. So about global business inroads, we're a 15-year-old company. We're an Indian multinational that's aiming to scale technology access and deployment for the UN Sustainable Development Goals, biotechnology, health, agriculture, climate change. These are some of the challenges we work towards. And there is no better partner actually for global business roads to work with than DBT, as well as Byrak, to actually take this mission forward, given that India today is at the center of the world when it comes to solving these challenges. And every day we meet countries, companies, startups, investors who want to work with India. They want to plan programs and projects with India. They want to work closely with the public and the private sector. And DBT and Byrak have really created the Indian ecosystem, the very friendly business-like environment to actually enable these ecosystems to come and, really work comfortably in India. The Global Bio 2024 will be the platform to actually bring in countries from around the world. Last year, we brought in 10 countries and about 5 international startups. But this year, we have doubled it, sir, I'm happy to say. And we are looking forward to actually take those numbers forward even more. We are expecting 100 companies and 20 or 25 more countries by 2025, and then 100 more. And in 5 years, we want to make it 60 countries and 500 innovators from around the world actively working with the biotech ecosystem in India to really place India as the center of the world. So we are very happy with this partnership and looking forward to work with you.
Thank you, Lina. I now request Ms. Nivedita Mehra, who's the Managing Director of US-India Strategic Partnership Forum. USISPF is doing great work in forging the ties between the India and US ecosystem.
Honorable Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Dr. Gokhale, Dr. Kumar, and all the dignitaries. On behalf of the US-India Strategic Partnership Forum, it is really our honor to be a part of the monumental Global Bio Asia event. From our perspective, really, the US is the largest innovator economy, but India now proudly holds the position as the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. And as you move towards the goal of 300 billion by 2030, we are partners in this journey, and we would like to bring both the innovation ecosystem from a startup perspective, technology perspective, as well as funding perspective to India in a big way. And I think this platform provides us that opportunity. At USISPF, we represent over 400 companies, both Indian as well as a large number of the American companies. But our mandate goes beyond investment. Investment occurs on its own. For us, this is an important mission of bringing the two nations together on issues that matter. And for us, biotech collaboration is one which is an opportunity for the US and India to partner for global good, be it on the agriculture side, be it on healthcare. The opportunities before us are tremendous. And if we can find those pathways together, I honestly believe that this is a win-win for the world. So with that, we're very, very delighted to be again associated with this event, and please count us as partners on the longer journey as well. We look forward to working with all of you and bringing all our companies' investment as well as partners to this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nivedita. Next partner is TiE Delhi NCR, which has created a large and supported large entrepreneurial ecosystem across India and globally. I request Ms. Upasna.
Thank you very much, Shilpi. Honorable Minister Dr. Singh, MD Bharat, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Secretary Sir, thank you for this opportunity. On behalf of TiE Delhi NCR, I am honored and privileged to be here today to be a partner with Byrak, not only for the last event and the event this year, but we've been lucky and fortunate to have partnered with Byrak for the last 10 years or so in multiple capacities. We've had the opportunity to launch an award that is very dear to us, which is for women excelling in the space of entrepreneurship in life sciences and biotech, the Winner Award. I think this has come a long way in supporting women entrepreneurs in this space. We as TiE are the largest global organization supporting entrepreneurs and startup. We began in the Silicon Valley in 1992, and we've been in India for 25 years now. We've supported startups and entrepreneurs across sectors, and Byrak has given us a chance to support startups and entrepreneurs in the space of life sciences and biotech. We have brought in we've got the chance to bring in the business side, the commercializing side to startups that are coming out of a lot of academic institutions, supported, of course, by Byrak. And I strongly and I often tell a lot of people outside of this setup that there is hardly likely to be any startup in the space of life sciences and biotech in India today that has not been touched by Byrak. I think that is the impact that this organization has created. It was wonderful to be a part of Global Bio India, the previous edition. We were a part of a lot of activities, starting with mentoring clinics, investor sessions, etc., and also bringing in some marquee speakers. And we look forward to one this year as well. I think looks like a phenomenal event that was being shared by Shilpi here. Won't be taking much time. Thank you very much for this opportunity last year, and look forward to being a part of this event coming forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Pasna. Another very important partner is the Investor Association, and we have Mr. Rajat Tandon, President of Indian Venture and Alternate Capital Association, with us. We request you for a very brief.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Minister, Secretaries, Namaskar. It's a privilege to partner again for the upcoming Global Bio India 2024. The association has been formed about 30 years ago, sir, but actively the work has started in the last 10 years. Two roles. One is certainly making sure that the investors who are global come to invest into India. So this is all in the space of startups, growth companies, and later stage companies, sir. And then there is a pool of domestic capital which we are also chasing. So this time the finance budget was really positive in terms of the angel tax removals, as well as, so that gives a very good positive message globally as well as in terms of the long-term capital gain tax, where it gives a choice for the domestic players to participate into our innovation which the startups are creating. As we create these lovely startups who are generating IPRs, we want more and more domestic capital to participate. And hence for the next, even the session which is coming up, I'm sure we will be able to get about 100+ investors from our community to help these startups to go and scale up. And we should be the proud owners of these. So these startups should be sticking up in India and absolutely addressing the global markets. So glad to participate in that. There are a lot of policy initiatives also, which we'll be jointly working. So hopefully we can, all the best wishes. Thank you.
Sorry to cut. while we discuss the industry startup incubators formally, there is an informal section of the society where the science should be communicated. Keeping that in view, we have a partner who conducts these popular science sessions and takes science to the society. I request Ms. Arundhati from Teamwork Arts to share her thoughts about how this is done by them.
Thank you, Shilpi. Good afternoon to all of you. On behalf of Teamwork Arts and my colleagues Jamie and Ela, who's in the audience right now, we thank you for inviting us to be a part of this curtain raiser for Global Bio 2024 in the esteemed presence of Honorable Minister MD Byrak and of course Secretary DBT, and all other dignitaries on and off the dais. We are delighted and privileged to be partnering with DBT and Biotechnology Research Association Council for the second time to curate this very unique Science Connect with Society sessions. As you know, at Teamwork Arts, we take India to the world and bring the world to India. We produce 33 annual festivals across 72 cities in continents that include the iconic Jaipur Literature Festival. Our aim is to always champion the power of knowledge and ideas. So our series, Be Inspired, that we partner with, was conceived to dispel the doom during COVID times, sir. And it was with the knowledge partnership of the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the government. We fast-track our collective futures by communicating to people about the greatest scientific discoveries and innovations of our times to inspire future innovators and inspire young people. And that is the vision behind the Science Connect series, to connect audiences with the most enabling innovations in science, bring to them the rich, layered stories of experts who work tirelessly behind innovation, and ultimately that empowers the masses with the limitless potential of innovation. This is a vision we have found and shared in synergy with in our collaboration with BIRAC and the DBT. As you can see, our past edition at Global Bio has included luminaries like Professor Toby Walsh, international expert on the ethics of AI, Shri Imtiaz Ali Khan, director of the Human Spaceflight Program, and other leaders who head Chandrayaan and Gaganyaan and Aditya mission at ISRO, Ashish Tripathi of the cutting-edge molecular diagnostic TIZAR labs, and many more. In 2024, we have curated an amazing lineup and are thankful to BIRAC again. We have actually Dr. Archana Sharma, the only Indian scientist working at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, Geneva. Sir Ian Blatchford, who heads the Science Museum Group in the UK, and many others who will bring to audiences the potential behind science. We look forward to furthering the cause for scientific communication, taking innovation out of the labs to the hearts of people and inspiring future innovators. As you can see, we work at the intersection of the arts and the sciences, because we believe they coexist. Imagination gives us vision and science makes it happen. Sir, thank you again for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Arundhati. With this, we close the partner spotlight. We have more partners. We couldn't have all of them speaking here. I acknowledge the support and contribution from all of them. With this, I hand over back to Ms. Taranjeet.
Thank you. अब मैं डॉक्टर अनामिका गंभीर साइंटिस्ट जी डीबीटी जी को आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी कि वे आए और अपने विचार प्रस्तुत करें. मैम, ओवर टू यू.
Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Science and Technology and Ministry of Earth Sciences, Minister of State, PMO, Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space, Government of India, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, respected Secretary DBT, DG Dhirendra Ojha ji, MD Byrak Jitendra ji, dignitaries of the dais, colleagues and esteemed guests, a very warm greetings to everyone. So it's a pleasure to witness the curtain raiser event of the 4th edition of Global Bio India 2024. So far there have been 3 editions of GBI and 1 edition of Startup Expo. The Department of Biotechnology, along with its public sector undertaking BIRAC, has been making strenuous efforts in building capacities in the biotechnology sector, promoting the Indian bioeconomy and strengthening India's position on the global map. Dr. Jitendra ji gave a detailed account of it in his speech. BIRAC, as everyone knows, is mandated to act as an interface agency to strengthen and empower the emerging biotechnology enterprises. The multitude of activities and initiatives by the Department of Biotechnology and BIRAC have helped bridge the existing gaps in the industry, academia, innovation research, and facilitate novel, high-quality, affordable product development through cutting-edge technologies. It is a matter of immense pride that India is one of the leading bioeconomies in the world. The growing emphasis on sustainable and environment-friendly growth in India, propelled by the new biomanufacturing initiative of the department, is expected to substantially increase the share of bioeconomy. In fact, in realizing India's vision of self-reliance, biotechnology innovation ecosystem is going to be one of the drivers, as everybody, even previous speakers pointed that out. Global Bio 2024 aims to bring together key stakeholders in the country and from around the globe. We heard some of the partners here. To foster knowledge exchange and innovation, Global Bio India 2024 will provide a platform to showcase the best of the Indian biotechnology innovation ecosystem to the world, to help build partnerships and to strengthen ties. From DBT, we wish Global Bio India 2024 be a resounding success, and we hope that it would further ignite and propel the innovation ecosystem to new frontiers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Secretary DBT, to address the gathering and provide insights into the impact Global Bio India will have on the biotech sector.
Thank you, Taranjeet. Namaskar and good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Minister for Independent State, Independent Charge of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. Director General of Press Information Bureau, Sri Dhirendra Ojha ji, my colleagues from DBT BIRAC, MD BIRAC, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Dr. Anamika Gambhir, my friends from other esteemed dignitaries of DIAS, visionary leaders of Indian biotech ecosystem, various distinguished members of scientific communities, participants of this curtain raiser, friends from media, and embassy officials that I hear. Thank you very much for coming, actually. This is the most exciting time in bioeconomy and biotech ecosystem, actually, to think of it. And, you know, on the eve of Independence Day, I must first of all give my greetings to all of you on what our India is visioning towards future of the world, actually. And I think this is a most important kind of event that's strategically placed right on the eve of Independence Day to be able to say that what the future would be, actually. And it's likely to be, bioeconomy is likely to be one of the key sector that will drive India's future economic and technological prowess. As you have seen over the centuries, several technologies in various domain sectors have grown and become. And the last one that has actually come in our ecosystem is the IT revolution, actually, which around 1990s transformed our country and transformed everywhere part of the world. And now it is what AI is trying to drive, you know, ecosystem from there. I believe the industrialization of biology is likely to be the future of the world, actually. And you can see this will impact every part of your life, you know, whether it's food, agriculture, your own ecosystem, the climate change, health, obviously, one of the critical component, and lives of every individuals that are actually on the systems that are available. And therefore, this is going to be a central player around which several other technologies will play a very, very important role of how this will amplify the impact of biotech innovation ecosystem. From that point of view, I believe this is a very significant addition, the fourth Global Bio India. And I think this will showcase enormous talent, enormous amount of, you know, prowess that Indian ecosystem has developed. And I think it's a testament to the growing strength of our country in terms of biotech ecosystem. I think if you really think about it, how this all has happened, it's quite amazing to think about it. You know, the whole DBT, in fact, if you think about it, started about 1986. And in India, if you look at that time, there were no vaccine innovation industry actually available. And in fact, DBT was the first department that, you know, initiated all these programs through Shanta Biotech and Bharat Biotech and various other companies, in fact, by licensing technologies to them, and created an ecosystem for a vaccine technology. And I think the real sense, what we showcased our talent was the time during the COVID times, actually. Every single platform, every single innovative platform, rather, I should say, where the vaccines can be produced, in fact, was done through this department's and BIRAC's partnership. And various industries now are amongst the top industries in the world where they're trying to now compete in the best of the best, actually. So this is something to be really proud of, actually. And this is something that we should all really, feel good about it, that how well we have done and how well it is testament to the success of Indian ecosystem. What we really need to do is to now the ecosystem, what we have discussed about the, the entrepreneurship ecosystem and various aspects of startup companies and all. I think what we should all take pride in how these companies will become successful actually in the future. And that's where a little bit of mentorship, little bit of partnership, little bit of collaborations, working across the ecosystem, trying to work at all the steps of, as you can see, various partners are here today, bringing in their own internal, bringing in those strengths, should really make it happen in Indian ecosystem. And I think that's where we need to figure out a way to leverage capital, to provide them mentorship support, to provide them variety of other resources that are very important. And towards that, what we are trying to do is to set up various biomanufacturing zones in the country. And that will enable the taking technology from the lab to the market to the next level of innovation ecosystem that is so very critical. If you really talk about the BIRACs, Dr. Jitendra Singh already, Dr. Jitendra Kumar actually already talked about it. And I will just talk to you about, if you imagine what is the impact of this startup ecosystem is. Today, the combined valuation is about 75,000 crore of the Indian, at least 75,000 crore of the Indian valuation of all these companies is, which is amazing to imagine that 10 years back, there was nothing existing in this country actually. And nothing means almost nothing. There were very few, one or two names that you could take, and there are no ecosystem available actually. And I think what we do at BIRAC is quite remarkable and quite amazing as part of activities. I mean, for last several years, through various partners and various, members are part of it, we've evaluated about 28,000 proposals in our country, which has come through various innovators that have been, which have been funded in various ways. So you can imagine the gigantic amount of activities that are happening, which is going to be transformative for the future of the country. I think if you look at the investment that has come in BIRAC, you'll be all amazed. Actually, I don't want to open it up here for the ecosystem to talk about, but it's really minuscule amount of thing. But this catalytic amount of money has transformed the entire ecosystem through various mentor groups, through various innovation building systems that are of, in place called BioNest, what we heard about 120 of. As Dr. Jitendra Kumar said, that it will be around 120 in this end of financial year. So how this is amplifying the impact and how this is going to create a completely new mechanism of systems to be able to work. I would only end by saying that the establishment of biomanufacturing and biofoundry will be in different sectorial groups of whether it's to do with chemicals and enzymes, or it's to do with health-related ecosystem, or it's got to do with various other climate change related activities. And the green growth and sustainability is the mantra of Indian economic model. Actually, that's what Honorable Prime Minister has said every time that he has commented. And you can see for last few years, the budget also is focused on the green growth concept of it. And let me tell you, all of this has been possible because Honorable Minister has been our great support and great champion of this. He's already commented in several meetings that biotech is now awakening itself actually, and he says COVID ने आपको एक नया जान दे दिया करके. And obviously, sir, it was important for us to, under your leadership, to be able to come up to your own views and vision. So thank you very much, sir, for gracing this occasion. It's very, very important that we work under your leadership and Honorable Prime Minister's vision to make Viksit Bharat and make this happen in this country for the future of India, for the future of this world, and future of all of us in a sustainable manner and an equitable way that makes our society much more happy, and I think in an exhaustive way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening address. हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज माननीय मंत्री श्री जितेंद्र सिंह जी हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं. Sir, I would request you to address the gathering. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our Honorable Minister, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji.
Secretary,
Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, who also happens to be a biotechnologist of distinction in his own right. We have MD BioRec, Dr. Jitendra Kumar, Dr. Anamika, and of course the newly appointed Principal Director General of PIB. The distinguished audience, which is I think it's one of the rare occasions we have such a huge galaxy under a single roof. We have some distinguished personalities from the industry. We have some eminent startups, successful startups. Of course, we have the members of the faculty. At the outset, I must compliment Rajesh and Jitendra for having organized and planned this event, the Global Biotech 4th edition, for whose curtain raiser all of us have gathered this morning. And even though the conference is being organized primarily jointly by the DBT and the BIRAC, I think its success would hugely depend on the participation of all of you who are over here. This is, in fact, one of the best examples of the whole of government functioning with the whole of society and the whole of industry. And that's precisely what is the priority area followed by the government led by Prime Minister Modi. While in the course of listening to all of the distinguished persons who came here before me, what I would gather is that primarily the purpose of this conference is twofold. A, to highlight India's biotechnology sector in the global spotlight, and B, to bring all the stakeholders together, domestic as well as the international, under a single roof, which is as important as the first objective. And I was glancing through the papers that Rajesh gave me about the last conference. They had 5,000 delegates, 500 exhibitors, and participation by more than 25 countries. And he was telling me that he's confident that they're going to cross that benchmark of the last conference. So I think they need to be applauded even before the conference happens. As a representative of the Modi government, I have no hesitation to say that ever since this government took over in 2014, there has been a paradigm shift in the priorities which the government follows. And there's been a special focus on science, technology, innovation, startups. And even though the BIRAC had been constituted just about 1 or 2 years earlier, before this government came, but actually it became functional only after 2014. And since as students of science we have been taught not to speak without evidence, so don't take it as a political observation, because I'm primarily from the fraternity. So I think to testimonize that, I would just relate to you a couple of figures. In 2015, Prime Minister in his Independence Day address from the ramparts of Red Fort talks about Startup India, Startup India. And that's how the whole story starts. The very next year we have a policy in place. And from just about 350 startups in the year 2014, today we are more than 1.5 lakh, many of them unicorns. And we have risen to rank number 3 in the world ecosystem. So as I said, we are talking out of evidence. No, so please don't take it merely as a ministerial talk. Then soon after that, in 2023, the G20, which we had last year, it was the initiative of Prime Minister Modi. We had something called a global biopharma gathering of countries, nations from G20, which included primarily the USA and Brazil. So there you can see the kind of prioritization, the importance given. The very fact that the Prime Minister speaks about it from a global platform or speaks from the ramparts of Red Fort is itself the branding of the prioritization. Then in 2024 budget, which is a very recent one, you would recall that even before going for elections, it's not that easy for a political government to do so, because we have just vote of count. It's not a full-fledged budget. And vote of count for any political government is more to cater to the voter constituency rather than other areas. But here we had, in the vote of account, and Rajesh would bear me out, a mention of the biofoundries. And if those of you who have tasted both the worlds, this side and that side, would realize no government going for an election would make priority out of biofoundries. But here was a government who had the courage of conviction to mention biofoundries in his interim budget just before the election. And then, of course, there's been a constant upscaling of the biomanufacturing infrastructure. In 2022, we were the first ministry or the first department in the government of India where, at my suggestion, and I'm glad Rajesh conceded to that, we had 14 biotechnology institutions across the country which were brought under a single umbrella. And that was named BRIC, the Biotechnology Research Innovation Council. And this year precisely, which I think would gladden some of our friends from the industry as well, just before the code of conduct was announced, we had the opportunity of bringing in a legislation for the National Research Foundation, which you have named Anusandhan. And I'm glad in the very first session that was organized in the new building, I had the opportunity to move that bill and get it passed. And very soon we'll have that in place. And that would address many of the suggestions which have been made by the representatives from the industry and also those who have spoken here on behalf of the interface between the industry and the private sector and the government sector. Because there we are going to have, I think we have studied all the models across the world, including the National Research Society of America, etc., the one that Germany has. We have tried to improve upon that and also include the Indian context. And just as someone was saying that they have, I think, possibly the ma'am spoke about the communication angle being included in that. We have actually, in our executive body, also sought to give representation to humanities, to civil society, to social sciences. We're not confined only to the scientists or even the affiliated areas, because we have a rich repository of traditional knowledge as well, and we are going to make use of that. This is quite exclusive to India. And it is this government, and I'm glad the sister organization under this ministry called CSIR, just about 2 years back, we set up something called TKDL, which is known as the Traditional Knowledge Digital Library. I'm saying TKDL because that's how it is absorbed easily these days. The acronyms go faster than the actual name. But that's the truth. So we are now trying to combine all those assets that we have, the knowledge assets, and also keep in mind, bearing in mind, the Indian context. So National Research Foundation that we have would, I think, would be a very wide spectrum, which would also cover many of the aspects that were spoken over here. And the results of this in the last 10 years have been amazing. Again, if you go by evidence, as was being mentioned by Rajesh, in 2014, we were just $10 worth of economy, 10 billion. In 21, we were 8 times over 18, 24, we are 137 billion. And the projection now for 2030 is 300 billion. Jitendra was telling you about the startups, which is, we were just about 50 in 2014. Now he's saying it's up to almost 8,000. I mean, it's remarkable. I think the pace that has been, because the Department of Biotechnology actually in the government sector, as he's rightly mentioned, started somewhere in late 90s, late 80s. But the awareness about it was lacking. And for many years, if you asked a commoner or even the students at the class 12 at the college level what was biotechnology, they would wonder whether it's biology or technology, engineering or medicine. It's now that they've come to understand. And we are today being ranked number 12 as biomanufacturers and number 3 in the Asia Pacific. And of course, as Rajesh has stolen one of my favorite expressions about COVID. So that's right. I was telling him, COVID got the better of everybody, but the biotechnologists got the better of COVID. So as somebody once suggested to Churchill, he should avoid cigar and his wine. So he said, I've got more out of this than these two elements have got out of me. So I think that applies as much to our friends in biotechnology. They were the greatest beneficiaries. They had the opportunity of mission COVID Suraksha being set up. And on a serious note, that gave them the opportunity to show to the entire world the amount of talent, acumen, and potential that was lying dormant. It was just waiting to happen. Waiting to happen with the slightest push from the level of the policymakers, from the level of the political dispensation. And I have no words to thank Prime Minister Modi that it was his personal initiative that it could be possible. We came out with the first ever DNA vaccine and also gifted it to the rest of the world, which gave us a worldwide recognition. We got to be known as leaders in biotechnology and bio-manufacturing. Of course, later on, we also come out with the papillovirus vaccine and many other things. I mean, that's a separate story for a separate session. But nevertheless, it was, in fact, those 3 years of COVID which gave us a new stepping stone and happened to be milestone. For any success story, there are two primary elements that are considered to be prerequisite. A, consistency. B, landmarks. That applies as much to science as to literature as to cinema. To have a lifetime achievement award, you have to be consistent, and then you have to keep propping up every now and then. And I think that came to us in those 3 years of COVID. And as he was mentioning, we are now into an era where we have biomanufacturing, agri-food, climate, energy, health. And I'm sure very soon many of us will be taking animal-less milk more than the animal milk, and having animals-less mutton or a chicken-less chicken tikka. And this is going to happen. And this is going to happen, and this is all going to be the magic of the biotechnology and biomanufacturing. And therefore, not taking long, because the chief guest is supposed to light the lamp and then push off after saying goody goodies. But I sometimes feel I have not got out of the habit of being a resource person as I was before I came into the government. So I think to sum up, I would say, and that will be a take-home message even for the media, that the next industrial revolution in the world is going to be bioeconomy driven. And just as 90s gave the world a new paradigm through IT, this is now going to be bioeconomy. And that future economy is going to comprise a huge, huge component of what we have started mentioning as circular economy. So there will be no wastage. And that will change our lifestyles, change our behaviors. The vegetarians will turn non-vegetarians in a single sentence. So that will be the change. And that is going to give India an edge over the rest of the world. Because we have huge, huge bioresources which have remained unexplored over the last 70 years. Only after this government came, we started looking at the Himalayas. The same ministry has the success story of Aroma mission to tell you, through lavender startups. The other Ministry of Earth Sciences has the story of marine economy, blue economy, which is again related to biodiversity. So all these resources are exclusive to India, the Indian subcontinent, and therefore that is going to give us an edge over this. And to achieve that, I think it won't be possible without having a closer collaboration between the private and public sector. I've been saying this, I've been a vociferous votary of aligning with private sector even when there was a huge amount of skepticism on both the sides. But I think if we have to now live up to the global benchmarks, we'll have to, so we need to have a PPP model, we have to have international collaborations, interministerial collaborations, and also develop a new generation of human resources. And for that, we would require, I'm sure the two gentlemen, Rajesh and Jitendra, would agree with me that they would also require the equal participation of these gentle ladies and gentlemen sitting in front of me. And therefore, to that extent, I'm sure Global Bio India 2024 conference is going to be held, will provide the world bio vision for the future. And that bio vision will essentially be India inspired. And the same bio vision will also lay the foundation of what Prime Minister keeps reiterating, Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and motivating words. Your continued support has always been a tremendous source of encouragement for us. Thank you once again for setting the stage for success of the Global Bio India 2024. Sir, I kindly request you to unveil the curtain to officially conclude this curtain raiser ceremony. So the remote is... Thank you so much. May I now request Shri Dhirendra Ojaji, Principal Director General, Press Information Bureau, for moderating the media interaction.
Thank you, sir, for your excellent speech. And now I invite media persons. You may ask questions regarding this Global Bio India Summit. So, yes. Can you show your number and then I'll ask? No problem. Now you can. Yes, you can give your introduction and ask question, please.
Sir, I am Naresh Sagar. I run a Sagar Media company. My question is, how much percentage of bio industry will hold in approximately in a total budget of our economy? So is it 20%, 15%, so that we can understand the gamut of the entire structure? Thank you, sir.
So presently, the bioeconomy that last year that we announced was about $137 billion industry, which is about 4%, 3.8% of what our total economy is actually. And our plan is to make it somewhere between 10 to 20% actually in next 5 to 7 years. That's the whole perspective.
So what is also equally important is that it is progressively on the rise, and the pace of rise is also increasing. I mean, what has happened in the last 10 years is much, much more than what happened in the preceding decades. So therefore, we can have more promising projections for future.
You know, this biotechnology means literacy rate should be high, as I think so. But our in World Index, our education is 121 number. So how would you lead making both, education and biotechnology complementing each other? Because we are at a very low rate of education policy. This is not your subject, but we would like to have your idea. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I think it's a very important point. I think we are increasingly learning. So there are four facets of learning if you really look at. Always called Shastra Tantra Vidya Kala. Right? We do very well in Vidya actually. We have enormous, fantastic institutions that provide a great opportunity to do Shastra Tantra Vidya. It's the Kala transition that we are learning in our country. And I think this is what biotech ecosystem is doing actually. And biotech is unusual from that point of view actually, unlike other traditional subjects. So I think we will do really well in future to come. And I think this transition, as many people talk about, actually is going to be critical component of future perspective.
No, to be precise.